Hello, this video is about Sydney Navarro, federal number 460-30177. This is three generations of women speaking about the impact her 324-month sentence has had on their lives. The first person you will hear from is her daughter, Victoria Navarro. The second person is her mother, whose name is also Sydney Navarro. And then you will hear from Sydney Navarro herself. There's a change.org petition in the description of the video. Please go to the description, click on that link, sign for her. This, again, is another example of how an excessive sentence can damage a family unit. We just want to thank everybody for your support and your help. Please share the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you all, and God bless. Hello.
Hello?
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So this video is in reference to Sydney Navarro, federal number 460-30177. She received a 324-month sentence. What is your name?
My name is Victoria Navarro.
And what is your relationship to Sydney, and how old are you?
I'm her daughter, and I'm 20 years old.
So, how old were you when she was indicted?
I was 13 at the time.
What was your as of today, what is your earliest memory of your mother?
My earliest memory would be sometimes around the season, like Thanksgiving and things like that. We would get pumpkin pie, and we would lay in bed, and we would watch movies, and just kind of hang out. And those are some of my earliest memories of my mom. We would wake up early on the weekends, and we would blast, music, country music, any music, and we would clean our house all weekend and just kind of hang out. Those are just some of the earliest memories that I have of her.
That's wonderful. So, when she was indicted, were you aware that she was indicted or that she was in some sort of trouble?
I was aware that my mom was going through something, but I was not aware that she was going through that. I knew that she was in jail, but I did not know that it was going to be for that long or what for. I was kind of not really involved or told much until much later.
So what was it like growing up without her or not having her there physically?
When I was first told of the sentence, I definitely blamed the world. I was very upset for the longest. For the first couple of years, I actually didn't even talk to my mom because I was going through my own, denial and just hating of everything. Growing up without her is something that I can't even really describe in words. Growing up, you have to have your mom for some things. She never got to go to any of my basketball games or choir concerts, and she wasn't there at my graduation. And my two younger sisters as well, going through life without my mom has been tremendously just so hard for certain things. And some things that you ask your mom, you can't really ask other people, and she's just not there for that. So it's been very hard.
That's terrible. What has the communication been like after those couple of years? What has it been like? How have you guys communicated, and how's that been?
Whenever I reconnected with my mom, it was like a weight lifter off my shoulders. We talk almost every day. We do video visits when we can. We go up there to see her whenever we can, usually on Sundays. But it's hard because, work schedule and school schedule and everything. But we actually communicate so much more, and I do get that opportunity to talk to her and, just kind of communicate with her so much more than those first couple of years.
So the purpose of this video is to ask the community to get involved. Your mother never said that she was innocent or that she didn't deserve some sort of punishment, but the purpose of jail or prison is, for the most part, rehabilitation, and
Mm-hmm.
324 months is excessive, considering that if she were to rehabilitate, the age that she would be returning back into society, it would be extremely difficult to start life back over. So what we're
Mm-hmm.
asking is that the community gets involved, and we ask for some sort of relief for your mother. There's going to be a change.org petition in the description of the video. That link can be followed to sign the petition asking for a relief from this sentence. To all the people that we're asking to get involved, what do you have to say to them about what a second chance for your mother, for your family, for you? What do you have to say to them?
I would just like to say, before this, my mom, she was the type of person that if anybody needed anything, she would be right there to help them in any situation, regardless of where she was in life or anything. The rehabilitation part is completely understandable, but if anyone were to meet my mom, you would completely understand why we push so hard for her to come home. She touches anyone that she talks to, just mentally. She can understand things that most people can't. She's so easy to talk to. And I mean, she goes out into the community now, and through this program where she talks to the younger people who are at these alternative schools and maybe in a rough patch of their lives, and gets to tell them her story and really gets down to communicate with them and show them her experiences and just kind of help guide them in a better direction. I feel like if she were to come home, she could do so much good. And right now, she can't really do much from where she's at, or she's reached a point to where she's completely, in my opinion, rehabilitated and ready to come home to her family and just restart her life for the better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for your time and talking about these things. I know it must have been difficult and still is very difficult. So thank you for sharing, and we will be posting this video here shortly.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate what you do and what you're doing for these women. It's huge for them. So I appreciate your time.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm fine today. How are you?
Good, good. This video is this audio is being recorded for a video for Sydney Melissa Navarro, federal number 460300177. She was sentenced to 324 months, which is 27 years. What is your name?
My name is Sydney Navarro. I named my daughter after me.
Could you tell us a little bit about her to give us an idea about what she was like when she was young?
Sure, yes. Melissa was a fun-loving little girl. She was very smart. She still is very smart. She was like the cheerleader in the kindergarten class for her brother's football team, all the way through 5th grade. She was in sports, and she played soccer. She was the goalie in soccer. She was always getting awards for writing poems in school and playing games, sports, and she just excelled in everything she did, and she was a straight A student.
Wow. So where do you feel like things started to take a turn for the worst for her? Where do you think they got off track?
Well, I think it might have happened when she was a preteen. She was she was a teenager. She was 13 years old, and she kind of started hanging out with a cousin who had started coming around, and I didn't know at the time, but they were drinking, and the cousin kind of misled her down a road that turned out to be a pretty rough road.
And I know that you mentioned early in life that she had endured some sexual abuse. I know that you said that you felt like that played a role in some of how things were changing. Can you describe the behaviors you've seen from her after that?
Yes, correct. That is true. She suffered some abuse as a young teen, and we noticed her kind of grades kind of dropping out of her sports, coming home and going in her room and staying in her room a lot, and not really, we'd take her camping with us, we'd go here and there, but she really wasn't engaging. She was just like, would rather be somewhere else. And so I noticed that she was gaining weight, and that I thought she was just becoming depressed and gaining weight, and I couldn't pull it out of her what was wrong with her. I had a really good job. I had really good insurance. I took her to the psychiatrist. I took her to get evaluated, and they were like, well, maybe she's just depressed, and they didn't give her any medicine. And so from there, she was, I never knew she was abused at that point in time.
So I know that you also mentioned that you felt like that played a role in her drug abuse later on in life, that maybe she was trying to medicate or get away from that. I think that's important. So the other thing is, you said that she also started to date at a young age and had children at a young age?
Yeah, that's right. I believe she started medicating with alcohol. I think she was trying to suppress what had happened to her. Now that I know the truth, I can look back, and hindsight's 20/20. Everything just kind of fell into place as to how Melissa was growing up. She was visiting friends and going out on dates and drinking alcohol, and even when she lived with my mother, she was pretty wild, getting out of hand, drinking alcohol. She had her first child in '99, and I helped take care of the child, and we had a good relationship, Melissa and I. I tried to help her and keep her at home where that wouldn't happen, but she got pregnant several times, and I believe it was due to the abuse that she experienced as a young preteen.
And like you said in a previous discussion, that she was probably searching for some type of love in a situation that it wasn't to be found. So once the addiction starts and you notice that she's involved with heavier drugs now, how does it get to the point of the indictment? Where does that come from? And what was your thoughts when that came about?
Okay, when just before the indictment, Melissa had gotten in trouble the year before that and had gotten caught with a small amount of drugs. And I think it was a quarter of a gram, something like that. She got put in jail, and they let her out on probation. And then she broke that probation and went back to jail. She just started doing the same thing again, but the difference was that she didn't have her children now. The children had been taken from her by CPS, and CPS came to my mom's house, and my mom, of course, she said she'd take the girls. So there was 3 children at that point in time, and my mother took the girls. Then she got in trouble again. This time it was the FBI calling me at my mom's house. And I said, hello. And he said, this is about your daughter, Sydney Melissa Navarro. And I said, okay, what's going on? She said, well, we have her here, and she is in trouble for selling drugs.
Well, I know that you expressed the fact that you felt like there were some people that said that she was involved with certain people that she wasn't involved with. When you heard about her sentencing judge, what were the conversations about that?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I had heard prior things about her sentencing judge, which was Judge McBride. And I do know that I was feeling really sick, because I thought, man, if she has that judge, things are going to come down hard. And sure enough, things went really, really bad. I mean, we had a wonderful life out here with her girls and everything, and now we're facing all this just in a moment's notice, and all of a sudden I'm in court with Melissa.
So if you could walk us through sentencing and discuss with us what that was like when you got there, and just kind of walk us through the process.
Okay, when I got there was a bunch of people standing outside the courtroom, and then they called us in the courtroom, and everybody had lined up. There was a bunch of people in the middle, and those were some of the people that had gone against Melissa in court, which used to be our friends. And then I was there. I was there by myself, and I was sitting on the front row. And then they walked Melissa in, and they sat her down in the juror box with her chains on her, which broke my heart. And I said, "I love you, Melissa." Hi, and she waved her little cute hi and winked at me, and she said, "Hi, Mom, I love you too." And I said, "This'll be over soon." She said, I know it will." She was mouthing that to me. And then the judge called her up for her turn. "I see you have some priors on here," but the priors were only like for a quarter of a gram or a half a gram of meth. And he said, "Well, we have tracked you around doing this and that, and I believe that you deserve to be, put in the penitentiary." And he said, "Well, I'm going to give you approximately, 324 months. And when he said that, I was just crushed. I could not believe that my daughter, after I did the math, I didn't have a pencil. I did the math on my leg, just wrote it out, and I was like, 324 times 12 is 27 years. He did not just give my daughter 27 years when the other people in the case that stood on the stand right before her had gotten 5 and 6 years. The girl who Melissa got the dope from got a minimal amount of time compared to Melissa, and Melissa wasn't even the main person dragging all this dope around, So I just wept. I wept in that courtroom, and I still wanted to stand up and say, "You are wrong, Judge. This is very wrong what you're doing. You don't know what kind of life you're throwing away here. This is my daughter we're talking about. Can I stand up and say something?" And the bailiff was just like, "Just keep your seat. Keep your seat, ma'am."
I'm sorry. I know that I know that's tough. I'm so sorry. Since that time, what has it been like for you guys as far as visiting, communication? How has that part been?
Well, when we first started visiting her, she was actually behind bars at the FBOP, and we went to visit her every Sunday, and I took the girls with me and other kids that were in the family wanted to see her, and my sister and other family members would come to see her, and we'd see her faithfully every Sunday. And it was just a really sad situation. I mean, we were happy to see her, but she looked broken. She looked like she was heartbroken. We could not believe that she was behind bars, And so she was trying to keep us happy and acting like she wasn't broken. But I could see in her eyes that she had just realized that her life was going to go down just because of that judge. He sentenced her to the maximum amount of time, and she had no priors. She had no priors at all. I mean, the little drug charge for a quarter gram of that stuff was the only thing that she had really, had done as far as breaking the law. And so prior to that, but he just gave her, it was like she had committed murder. The sentence was so high. I've seen people who have killed their husbands and gotten 10 years. Yeah. And Melissa's doing 27 years. of her the wonderful life she could have. She deserved the lesser end of that sentence for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, the purpose of this video is there's a change.org petition in the description of this video. We're asking the public to get involved for a single mother that made some mistakes and definitely deserved a punishment, but a punishment that would allow her to rehabilitate, to allow her to be the mother, the daughter that she was meant to be. 27 years is not conducive to that. So what we're asking is that the people get involved, sign the petition,
nor is it correct for the type of crime that she has. It doesn't. The time doesn't fit the crime at all.
I definitely agree.
Right.
To those people that we're asking to support your daughter, to sign the petition for her, what do you have to say to those people?
I would say that if you knew Melissa, and for the ones that do know Melissa, she's very happy and gregarious, very outgoing, and she is very goal-driven, and she's very smart. She can do anything she puts her mind to it. And so I say that I'd love to spend time with my daughter, hold hands, walking in the park, and being a real mother would be so important for her, to be out here with her girls, living life at no matter what age it is. She's still going to be their mother, and she's still my daughter, and we miss her, and we love her so much, and we just know that she has plans and goals and do a lot of the things that she wanted to do before she went in. She had a lot of goals, and some of those things were, to be an artist and to be, she's an electrician now, but, to become the woman that she could truly blossom out to be herself if she was released.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to thank you for this time. I know that it was a difficult conversation. Thank you for...
Yes, it is pretty hard to do when it's your only daughter.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand. Again, I just want to thank you for this time and being vulnerable and open and honest with us. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we go?
I just ask everyone to please sign Melissa's clemency. I mean, it pulls at my heartstrings every day that I can't just sit here and hold my daughter. And I just pray for that day when she's released. And I pray that everyone who can sign this and that you can share and get other people to sign it and help us out with this and bring Melissa home. I love my daughter dearly, and so do her children.
Thank you again. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, sir, and I appreciate you for getting it out there and helping to release my daughter.
Hello?
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Sydney Navarro,
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? I wanted to let you know before we started that we are recording for your interview. If I could get a little bit of background information from you, what is your full name?
Okay, Sydney Melissa Navarro.
And your register number?
460-30177.
And your mailing address?
It is P.O. Box 27137, Fort Worth, Texas 76127, SNC Carswell.
Okay, and do you have any children?
Yes, I do. I have 5.
5 children. And how old are they?
They are ranging from age 15 to 21.
Okay. What about yourself? When you were younger, what did you want to be, or what were your aspirations, goals? What did you envision for your life when you got older?
I really wanted to be a surgical tech or a nurse. I wanted to go through school, and I wanted to finish college.
That's great. That's great. Where do you feel like things took a turn for the worst, or things started to go down the wrong path for you?
I feel like the people that I started hanging around, and I guess really it started with a guy. I met a guy, and he started selling drugs. So I started selling drugs too, and I got involved with it. I liked the money, and then I got addicted to meth. So I sold drugs to support my habit.
And how long would you say that your with your involvement in the conspiracy? What was your involvement, or what was it classified as far as your role?
I feel like my involvement was a very short time. I would say probably a year, maybe. And my role in it was, I guess, pretty much I just sold drugs with my boyfriend.
Okay, and when you heard about the indictment, or that you were being indicted, walk us through that. When you hear about it, and then as far as what were you thinking, as far as time wise, that you would receive?
Well, as far as time-wise, when I heard about the indictment in the beginning, when I was on the street, I actually thought that it was impossible. But then, of course, I got arrested. They told me I was looking at 151 months to 188 months. Well, then they went back and tested the drugs, and it went higher. I was ranging from 324 months to 405 months, and my heart stopped. I couldn't believe it. I really don't think that the reality of it has even hit me still.
Was there an amount tied to the original indictment?
Amount? What do you mean? Amount of what?
Drugs. Was there an amount of, like, when you were first originally indicted, on the paper that you received, or when you were, was there an amount that was tied to it?
I believe it was like 1.8 keys, less than 2 keys.
Okay, and then did that amount change over time?
Yes, because they started tying other people that was on the indictment to us. So what other people had, they kind of put all of ours together, and it just started adding up. Things that they were in possession of, they used it against everybody.
So when you went to court for the first time, did you know who your sentencing judge was, or did you feel comfortable with your attorney?
Actually, I did. I knew that I was going to have Judge McBride, and we've heard horror stories about him all throughout the prison. I mean, the jail that we were actually being held at, and he's just notorious for his long sentences, contempt of court. My attorney actually told me that we needed to be careful what we'd say because it would actually make him angry. For
you yourself, what were you thinking as you're going through this process, as you're going to court? Did you have a number in your mind that made sense, or was it just you weren't really sure about the time?
I really wasn't sure, but I definitely never thought that I was going to receive 27 years. I never thought in my mind that would possible. My guideline range was 5 years to 40 years. So, I mean, I thought maybe 15 years or maybe 10 years, but when he said 324 months, which is 27 years, my heart just dropped. I never thought that I would receive that much time for a nonviolent drug offense.
So,
with such a little role.
Right. When you're prior to sentencing, did your lawyer say the prosecutor had offered you any plea agreements, or was there any offer at all as far as time goes?
No, there was nothing. It was just straight 5 to 40 years. And also, they never even took into consideration, I was released from TDC 24 days after I was picked up on my federal indictment. So 9 months of the time that they said I was involved in the conspiracy, I was actually in Texas State Prison.
Sentencing comes. Walk us through that.
This call is from a federal prison.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sentencing comes. Walk us through that. You're in the courtroom, and what happens?
Well, of course, you're shackled by your hands and your feet. You're in the courtroom, and it's very intimidating. You have the prosecutors, you have the judge, and Judge McBride just acts like kind of just really doesn't want to pay any attention. It's like you're cut off short. You get an opportunity to speak and, of course, apologize to your family and everybody that you've affected around you with the things that you've done, and you just feel like your words are just on deaf ears because there's no remorse for them, for us, or anything, no matter what we say or what we do.
Did you have family in the courtroom with you?
Absolutely, my mother.
And what was her reaction to the sentence?
Well, when he read out my sentence, all I could hear is my mom just crying in the background. I could just hear her behind me. I didn't get an opportunity to turn around and speak to her. I didn't get anything. As soon as I was sentenced, she was just bawling and crying.
That's terrible.
They couldn't believe it. Yes.
So what has it been like since then for you and your family, communication-wise, visits? What have things...
Since I've been incarcerated?
Yes.
Since I've been incarcerated, I have full family support. I have lots of friends and positive family members out there that visit me every weekend. My daughters, we have an amazing communication. We do video visits. We do phone calls. They come and visit every time they can, every chance that they get. They tell me all the time how much they've seen a change in me, not only with that, but positive things that I've been doing in prison since I've been in here.
Tell us about...
Actually, I feel like our relationships have grown.
Absolutely. Tell us about that. What have you been up to since you've been incarcerated?
So actually, I've taken multiple programs as far as inside the prison, like parenting, smart money, all types of things like that. I was also involved in SHARE program. It's called Sharing Hope About Recovering Experiences. And it's where, since I'm at the camp and I'm a nonviolent drug offender, I'm allowed to go out in the community, and we could go to schools for adolescent children ranging from the ages of 10 to 21. And they're at alternative schools, or we go to the police departments, and we just speak out. We tell our story about what happened to us when we were young, how we're in the situation that we are now, and what we do to better ourselves. So we just give them advice and things that they could do different with the things that they're doing now getting in trouble. I feel like we've touched a lot of lives since we've been out there. It's an amazing program. Also, I'm currently a volunteer in the Access program, where we volunteer and walk dogs for people that are disabled. I'm in an electric apprenticeship, and I've almost completed it. It's an 8,000-hour electric apprenticeship, and I have about 2,000 hours left. Wow. And I'll have my electrical certification.
How long have you been incarcerated now?
7 years.
Okay.
7.5 years.
And what is your current out date?
My current out date is 3/8/2033.
Okay, so the purpose of this video is we're going to have a change.org petition in the description of the video. We're asking the community to get involved, to hear your story. You said that you had an involvement and that you did deserve a punishment. And yes. I agree, and I think that most of the people listening agree. But the purpose of that punishment is to give you time to rehabilitate and bring you back into society. 27 years does not serve that purpose, and it's not only the sentence, but it's the courtroom that you were sentenced in. We've definitely heard many stories from that courtroom about how the quantities of drugs that were applied to individuals has been exaggerated, how the amount of time that's been given has been excessive. And if you had been sentenced in another courtroom in another district or another state, the amount of time you received would have probably been significantly less. So
absolutely.
What we're asking for is some sort of relief. The president to commute your sentence. To all of the people that are listening that we're asking to get involved in your case, what would you say to them about giving you a second chance and what that would look like for you on the outside?
I feel like it would be absolutely amazing. It would give me a second chance. It would give me a chance to be out there and do motivational speaking, to go out and speak to these young adults, these people that are making wrong decisions, and let them know that it's not worth it. You know, I want to give back to my community, not only my community, to my family. Let everybody know that I am worth trying again, worth a second chance. I will absolutely get out and do amazing things. I want to work. I want to have a normal life, and do the right thing. Have a normal family and do everything that I'm supposed to do, not only help myself, but everybody out there.
Well, we want to thank you for your time and talking to us about your situation. I just want to thank everybody again for taking the time to hear this story. We appreciate everybody's involvement. We appreciate the fact that you're not sitting by and watching things happen, that you're getting involved. Again, that there's a petition in the description of this video. There's a little arrow that's pointing down. If you click that, go to the description. You can click the change.org petition asking for her release, a reduction in her sentence. 27 years for a nonviolent drug offender it's outrageous, and I think a lot needs to be said about where she was sentenced. If you can watch our other videos to learn more about that courtroom and what's happening there. But again, we just thank you all. Please subscribe, share the video, and continue to be shining light in this darkness. Thank you all, and God bless.